To get inside the Giants huddle.
Huddle up.
On Giants.com.
Here we go.
And the Giants mobile
Get
app.
them in there, let's go.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Welcome to the newest edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast. John Schmeelk with you. Today's guest, Giants rookie cornerback Darnay Holmes. But first, I want to remind everybody you can find the Giants Huddle Podcast on Giants.com/podcast, the Giants mobile app, and your favorite podcast platform. It's all presented by Investors Bank, along with the rest of the Giants Podcast Network. And now we're joined by our guest, Giants rookie cornerback Darnay Holmes. Though, Darnay, now that we're about 12 games into this thing, do you even really think of yourself or consider yourself a rookie anymore, given everything you've seen and been through so far?
I definitely don't consider myself as a rookie, but definitely still doing rookie duties. I can tell you that. But definitely impressed with my improvement. Constantly want to progress as a person and as a professional for sure.
Well, I think that's a good place to start. Where do you think you've improved the most from when you walked in the door and to where you are today?
I'll say really just grasping the concepts that Coach Graham and Coach Jerome want me to do, being more fluid out there and just playing the game as they want me to play it.
Coach Graham was actually asked about where he thought you have improved the most this year, and he mentioned, one basic thing, which is just playing leverage correctly. So can you just kind of explain to fans why for a player that specifically plays that nickel slot corner position, why doing something as fundamental as playing your leverage correctly can be so important?
Yeah, so pretty much just playing your leverage is doing your job, doing your 1-11. And by playing your leverage, you eliminate a lot of things that our DC wants us to eliminate, So when you give up your leverage, you're giving up pretty much the scheme of the defense. So once I learned that, later on in the season, it became more easier for me, I'm playing less routes and I'm more calm and collect because I know that I have this leverage.
And just so fans understand, when you say leverage, it basically means either playing to the outside or the inside of the receiver, right, based on where your help is with the rest of the defense?
Exactly, yeah. So pretty much just playing, you're taking away something, you're taking away the outside or you're taking away the inside, wherever the call may be. And sometimes when we take away the outside, we have some inside help. So just pretty much understanding the play call and understanding where your leverage is on that play.
Darnay, we talked when you got drafted, and I thought it was pretty clear off the bat that you were a very, very smart guy that took this very seriously, and you were excited to come in and learn what the NFL had to teach you. How much more complicated, maybe if I can't use a better word, has the schemes and the teaching and everything been in the NFL compared to what you did in college?
Truthfully, I feel like it's more easy going because of the time that I have to really dive in and dial into the schemes and concepts. In college you have class.
Sure.
So now my class is pretty much understanding what I have to do on this play call, the disguise I have to implement on this play call, and pretty much just being real intense with my film study now and being real intense with my note-taking.
We talked about the fundamentals post-snap with the leverage and stuff like that, and you just mentioned disguise and pre-snap, and we had Logan and Jabril on this show the last couple of weeks, and they talked about the importance of disguise. Can you talk about how you've kind of learned about it and the way you implement that game in, game out to try to help the overall scheme and impact of the defense as a whole?
Yeah, pretty much I learned about it was when pretty much our scout team was pretty much having an understanding of what defense we were in because of me, because I wasn't disguising. I was just rigid and pretty much giving away the defense. So pretty much once I learned that, I'm like, okay, they're actually looking at me to see what coverage we're in. So once I took that note, I was like, okay, I have to move around a little bit. I have to be more fluid. I have to pretty much understand, like, this is where I got to end up at, but I don't have to be there right away, So pretty much just showing something that I'm not doing, but getting to my landmark when time is right.
How much did guys like Logan and Jabril and James Bradbury help you not only with that, but all these other little nuances that you've had to implement in the NFL?
They definitely have been helping me intensely. Each and every day we're talking about something. We're learning about something. We're figuring out something as a group. So pretty much having these guys around me, pretty much making my rookie season very easy, not going to lie to you.
Both Logan and Jabril kind of talked to me about how you guys now hold each other responsible for doing that extra film work, which is what you referenced earlier. You have more time to do that sort of stuff. What's that environment like inside that defensive backs room with the safeties and corners, doing that extra work that maybe is not in the classroom with the coaches, and how you do hold each other responsible for making sure all of you are prepared as much as you need to be on game day?
Yeah, so pretty much Logan, he just puts things in perspective for everybody, just being in the league for however long he's been in the league and playing for the teams he has played under. he pretty much made things very clear and uncut for us. He said, at the end of the day, this is our job. So if you're not going to dial in for the next 6 or 7 games, are you really a master of the craft? Are you really somebody who loves this game? So he really have you self-reflect and think about yourself. So pretty much if you're not willing to set aside time to dive into your study, why you even playing the game of football, because you're not going to go out there and put your best foot forward for the team, which your team needs each and every Sunday.
The New York Giants and Quest Diagnostics want our fans to come back stronger than ever. Now you can order your own lab test through Quest Direct to get the health answers you need most. We're joined by Darnay Holmes. What's unique about the way Coach Jerome Henderson and Coach Patrick Graham goes about teaching you guys the bigger picture scheme stuff, but then also the more technical technique stuff that kind of all comes together to allow you to be effective as you are on the field?
Well, Coach Rome is very unique because he played the game. He played all the positions that we have played on the defensive background. He has a DB background, and pretty much all the positions he has played, we are playing now. So pretty much all the things that he have learned and all the things that he have had to correct, he's pretty much allowing us to figure those things out, but also giving us the input that's needed so we can figure those things out more quickly. And with Coach Graham, he just makes sure that we understand that this what needs to be done, and if we get these things done, pretty much we'll see the results.
Now, you guys have gotten great results, and you've kind of slowly morphed into a pretty heavy zone team this year, Darnay. Did you play this much zone in college, or has this been a big change for you with the amount of zone versus man you're playing here with the Giants so far this year?
Yeah, college it was the same about I feel like it was the same balance in college.
Okay.
Probably a little bit more man, but in college it's different in college, It's a different ball game.
Yeah, no question about it. And also you're playing a lot more inside in the pros than you did in college, Darnay. What's been the most fun you've had, playing inside the slot, and what's been the most challenging part of that change for you?
The most challenging part was pretty much just not being rigid. In college I was an outside corner, so I could line up, play man-to-man, make sure I eliminate my man, but pretty much having a heavy zone emphasis, I have to move around more. I have to be more fluid. I have to understand that the quarterback is looking at you to see if I'm giving him some type of tell to see what coverage we're in. There's a lot of things that I never knew about the nickel position because I never played the nickel position until I got to the Giants. So
Sure.
It's a whole different ballpark that I'm learning, but I'm definitely excited, and I've been taking in all the coaching tips and points for sure.
What's been most fun about it? What do you enjoy about it?
Competing, at each and every day you have a top-tier receiver you got to guard in the slot. Each and every game I'm guarding a top-tier receiver, so just the competing aspect of it is definitely something I enjoy.
I got to imagine you don't mind getting some chances to rush the quarterback too, right, out of that slot spot?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's a bonus.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, and Coach Graham is not shy about sending you DBs after the quarterback too. Is that a fun part of it? You talk about it as a bonus, but is that something where you're like, all right, this is really an opportunity here for me to make a play? But sometimes quarterbacks might just not throw the ball your way, but that's a chance now. You're going after the quarterback. That's a chance to make a big play.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Every time I feel like as a DB we get a blitz call, we always want to make an impact play. We want to cause some type of disruption. We don't just want to be on the blitz to be on the blitz and have a free play. We want to cause some type of disruption so the back end could pretty much make a play as well.
Hey, Giants fans, get a New York Giants checking account from Investors Bank with the Giants branded debit card, security features, and discounts at the Giants online shop. You can earn up to $250 when you open an account at investorsbank.com/Giants. Member FDIC. When you guys took a look at the tape against Seattle, when you looked at it on Monday before you left and you came back, what did your defense and your secondary specifically do so well to contain Russell Wilson, and what was a big play passing attack before they faced you on Sunday?
It's really just eliminate the big plays that Russell can do with his playmakers. We just pretty much did the scheme that we had drawn up and pretty much contained them as well as we can and pretty much got the results that we wanted to get that night.
Yeah, really all year, Darnay, you guys have done a phenomenal job of preventing big plays. I think only one team or two have allowed fewer plays of 20-plus yards through the air. What is it about your defense? Is it just simply being assignment sound that allows you to prevent the big plays the way you have this year?
Yeah, I definitely believe it's being assignment sound. As the season progressed, we started learning more about the defense. We started having more time to correct the things that we didn't even know we had to do within the defense. So as time progressed, we started to learn more fundamentally what we have to do and why we're doing this. So once you understand why you're doing something, things start becoming easier for sure.
How much does the defense really change week to week based on opponent?
I would say it changed. I wouldn't say drastically, but it changed with different play calls. There's a lot of different installs.
Sure.
But pretty much the installs are different things that you have been doing, but you're just doing it probably at a different landmark or a different position.
So the fundamentals stay the same, but maybe how you get into that will change based on your matchup.
Exactly.
I got you. All right, let's take a look at Arizona here. I know a lot of people that maybe don't study the tape will say, oh, well, Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson, they're both not the tallest guys. They got big arms. They're good throwers. They can run it. They're pretty similar, and they do the same type of thing. But I know when you look at the tape, there are a lot of nuances there with the way those two offenses run and the way they play. So what are the differences, Darnay, between going against Kyler Murray and going against Russell Wilson?
I'll say with Kyler Murray, he has true speed. If he hit the corner, he's going to hit the corner. He's going to get going, So really containing him, making sure that he can't escape the pocket as smoothly as he'd like to, but pretty much just having a respect for who he is and for his deep ball and for his athletic ability that he's been given from the man above for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he basically has the athleticism of a slot receiver with the skills of a quarterback, right? I mean, that guy can move. And then as a passer, I think it's interesting. They try to hit you with those, that really quick game stuff, short, and then they'll try to bang you over the top with a couple of big ones down the field. So how do you balance trying to make sure they don't get some of that run after the catch on that really quick short game they use, but at the same time cover that stuff deep?
Yeah, pretty much just staying within the scheme, try to go outside of the scheme or outside of the box of what you're originally been taught. So pretty much just playing our game plan and allowing things to unfold how it's supposed to unfold.
When you look at that scheme, you see the no huddle, the 4 wide receivers, the RPOs. Are you having flashbacks to a lot of the same offenses you saw when you were at UCLA?
Definitely having flashbacks with the RPO and the tempo type of thing. So it's going to be a fun one for sure Sunday.
What are some of the principles that you've learned your whole life about just stopping that type of offense?
Be on high alert. Be on high alert. Don't take a play off and have an understanding that you got to think faster since it's tempo. You got to get the call, understand the call, get in line, and get ready to play. You don't got much time to think because they already probably got their next play call already told in the huddle, but we don't got our next play call probably told just yet. So probably having a clear-cut understanding of the way that they want to play the game and the way we got to play our game as well.
How about the way they spread you out? They use 4 wide receivers more than any other NFL team, Darnay. So in what ways does that stretch and stress your defense when they put so many guys out there that have wide receiver skills?
Yeah, I feel like on our end, it's really not going to stress us as much, because we have the utmost belief in our defensive back group and our defensive back room. So pretty much just understanding the leverage we have to play, understanding where our help is, and pretty much just executing that play.
You might have a chance, and we'll see if he plays this week because he got brought off the COVID-19 list earlier in the week. You might have a chance to play Larry Fitzgerald. Now, he's not your typical inside receiver that's maybe a little bit of a smaller guy, quicker side to side. First of all, he's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's massive, and he's got great hands. So is that a deal where you're just really excited about playing him? And when you're playing one of those bigger inside receivers, how do you slow him down?
Really just going out there and compete, going out there and trusting my eyes and being very disciplined with my technique and understanding that I got to be violent on all finishes when you got a player who has great hands. So pretty much understanding the things I have to implement when I'm playing my game and allow him to do his thing while I do my thing on the other end.
Now, I'm not sure how much you're going to see DeAndre Hopkins, but what do you see when you watch him on tape?
He has a great catch radius for sure, great catch radius.
All right, finally, you can't forget about the running game. They have a 2-headed running back monster there with Kenyon Drake. He's more of their runner. Chase Edmonds more of their receiver, but they're both used in different ways. What are the challenges they pose to your defense, Darnay?
Yeah, I feel like they get to the second level very fast if you let them. So pretty much being able to make open field tackles and pretty much be able to vice tackles as well. So we have a lot of respect for the running back group, probably one of the best groups we may be facing this year. So just have an understanding of the way that they're playing the game and the way that they use both of the running backs.
Darnay, good stuff, my friend. We really appreciate the time. Congratulations on your success so far this season, and best luck against the Cardinals.
Thank you. God bless.
That's Giants rookie cornerback Darnay Holmes. We thank him for joining us on today's edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast. As a reminder, you can find the Giants Huddle Podcast and all of our podcasts, including Big Blue Kickoff Live, our daily call-in show, and the Giants Rewind podcast on our podcast network, which is presented by Investors Bank. You can find the archive of all those shows on Giants.com/podcast, the Giants mobile app, and on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star positive review. For Darnay Holmes, I'm John